What is going on tonight, guys? I'm excited to get into the stream. My first Best Ball Mania stream since it dropped. It's been a while. Me and Davis took a week off, let everyone enjoy the draft. I hope everyone did. I'm excited to talk a few of my takeaways from my early drafts, the strategies I've been implementing, what I've been going for, and some takeaways and some things I tried to learn from last year that I might have overreacted to a little bit early. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. And then, of course, hop into a draft here momentarily. But let's take a look at a couple of my drafts I've done where something I wanted to get better at this year and something that I think I did bad last year was when I went 0 RB or when I went anchor RB, going kind of too fragile at the position. And something I'm focusing more on this year, it's kind of what Leonie's talked about a little bit, but kind of the buckets of players that you in like what you spend on your teams and stuff. Thank you, Casey. I'm messing around with this stuff. It's fun. Let everybody trickle in a little bit. What's up, Vapor? How are we doing tonight? You like the layout? Cool. I decided to mix it up, try something different. Got a little background music going. Don't know if you guys can hear it or not. Let me know if the volume is too low if you don't want music, whatever. But yeah, kind of like what I was saying, I think it's this team is the first one. And what is up, Fantasy Football Garage? And trying not to overspend at any one position. But an area I think I went a little overboard is like an example of this team. I think it's a pretty solid team. Thank you, Ernie. I'm a big beanie person, as you guys I'm sure know now. See, last year, I think I got in trouble on a lot of teams, right? I would go Josh Jacobs early in an anchor build. Well, I would not. I would not go Josh Jacobs early, that's for sure, last year, but you get the point. I'd take an RB early, and then I wouldn't even take my second one until Charbonnet range. And then when I look at my teams and I looked back on a lot of my teams, yeah, capital by position is kind of what I'm referencing here. And I think I overspent at running back. I think Dobbins or Sanders, one of the two, not both on this one. It's not bad. I didn't spend a lot at quarterback. The latest I had got Anthony Richardson. I don't think I've got him twice. But so that's kind of an overreaction I have had to last year, right? Where last year I looked back at a lot of my teams, and when I went anchor, then I would tack on 4 guys this, lower. Where this year I want to start adding in a more sound guy at the position, but really focus in on not overspending. If I take that early tight end, I'm going to. Whereas I didn't overspend at quarterback on this team. We're still stacking. We've got Jimmy. We got Josh Jacobs. We got Devontae Adams. The full-on team stack there. We've got Anthony Richardson with Alec Pierce. And so I don't think it's a bad team, but this is something I want to watch more, where I think I overreacted a little bit to some of my teams last year. And I think I did it a little bit on this team too, where, yeah, this is kind of a modified 0-ish. It's like a 5th-round pick or something. So it's not fully a 0. But I did punt tight end, so wide receiver is okay on this one. I'm trying to avoid a little bit of Seattle, but I got Lockett this far past ADP, so we'll see. Sanders ADP is pricey. It is. I don't know, though. He's the only guy there, in my opinion. I know Chuba's okay, but I'm kind of buying in at this point in drafts of what the coaches have said. It really seems like he's going to be their 3-down back. They paid him, the highest running back contract this offseason. Plus, they have a rookie quarterback, not that great of a receiving core. My bet right now, until we get any new information with something brought in, I don't know. I'm kind of in on Sanders at the moment. So I don't trust Seattle. It's not that I don't trust Seattle. I think they're going to be awesome. I think you're going to be a great team. It's just there's so many mouths to feed for fantasy, right? You got JSN, you got Metcalf, you got Lockett, Kenneth Walker, and now Zach Charbonnet as well. It's just so many mouths to feed in one offense. And so another thing too, and I know a lot of you guys know this, but this contest is gonna be open until the season starts, right? And so I'm being very, very conscious of players I think will get cheaper as summer goes. Seattle's the big one. I took Lockett here. He did fall 15 picks past ADP, and like I'm gonna take some Seattle for sure. But I'm letting them fall to me. I've taken Charbonnet. Um, yeah, that was kind of something I want to hit at here on the start. Chuba at ADP might play. Maybe I don't know. I'm in on Miles Sanders. He's a little pricey. I wish he was maybe a round and a half cheaper for sure. But I'm kind of in on him as like, especially if I like start my team with him. Like I've started my team with some of this tier, and I know a lot of people don't like them, but it's kind of like a modified zero-ish. It's a little bit much on the RB spin. Like I think I should have not done Akers or not done Pierce and pushed it, and that's something I'm learning. I've only done 8. And like I said, last year I had like just I think terrible teams at RB. Where if I did 0, I would start with like Damian Harris level running backs and have like 7 of them, which is fine and it can work. But I'm kind of really focusing in on my spend, and I want my teams to feel a little bit more balanced, I would say, this year. And that gets me into like this format. We haven't had a chance to talk about it. On Thursday, me and Davis will both talk about it a lot more and give our opinions on that. But how are you guys attacking this new format? I know I've talked a little bit about it with Paul. I don't know what to do, really. Like, I want to try and thread the needle of building more consistently or more like, balanced teams, like I said, that I think have playoff upside. And obviously, once we get the schedule, we're still stacking week 17. We're doing all those things. We're stacking all of our quarterbacks. But I don't know. I think I am. Can't back that offense. That's fair. It's nerve-wracking. It's kind of like, I don't know. I think they could be a little bit better. They have a pretty good offensive line. I'm pretty sure last year, BFF grades, at least middle of the pack. They took a first-round tackle last year. I don't know. It's a bet I'm making now. If he drops a couple rounds, that I'll be sad I drafted him this high, but we'll see. It's just it's a take I have right now. So, but yeah, with this format, I am kind of trying to thread the needle a little bit. I think injuries is the one part that I'm kind of looking at. Like I haven't taken Kyler yet, and I don't know how much I'm gonna have of him. Not just because he's hurt, but because the Cardinals could just be dreadful. They could start like 1-5, 1-6, and then like would they push him back? Like, because they have the Texans pick right now. They're projected for the top 2 picks in the draft, and so could they just like say, hey, wait, why don't you stay out a couple more weeks, Kyler? Or he decides the writing's on the wall. This team's gonna have a top 2 pick. They're gonna trade me. I'm just gonna take this season off and get healthy. So I think there's a lot of risk there. There's obviously some reward if he comes back, because we do know Kyler can have really big games, but off an ACL, like how much is he going to run? That their offensive line isn't that great. I know they just picked Paris Johnson at 6. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm losing Best Ball Mania not having any Kyler Murray. And that's just the take I have now. If he gets closer to the season, and that's the beautiful thing about Best Ball Mania and it being open basically the whole summer. If he gets better news, or there's a chance he plays week 1, I can always add him. Towards the end, and I don't think his price will go insanely higher than it is. Because we would probably get that news really late. And of course, like, I'm playing, paying attention to the news like 24/7. I'm on Twitter, so like as soon as we get a positive remark, maybe I hop in a couple drafts and grab a couple shares before it goes up, but we'll see. He could be the guy you need, but then also quarterback points are the most replaceable. Look, of course there could be week 17 where Josh Allen scores 50 and you just had to have him. But we just saw it with Daniel Jones and Tom Brady. And obviously they both got to 40. But I don't know. I'm not quarterback's the position where like I think you can find like is he really going to separate that much? I don't know. Maybe I might sprinkle him in. We'll see. Maybe if we get news that he's definitely out for 6 weeks, maybe he drops even another round or so, and maybe I add him then. So we'll see. Okay, though this is funny. I need to watch other drafts so I don't. So I'm trying to like pace myself. I've done 8, but if you look at it, I've done $3 cash games just to like scratch the itch. I'll be like, my lunch break or something, and I've done I've done a few of these the past few days to not do too many too early. I ripped 4 the first day and the next morning. And so yeah, I'm trying to pace myself. I'm probably gonna get to like about 10, probably this one and maybe one more before the when is this? The schedule's the 11th, and then yeah, it comes out next Thursday. So if I do, yeah, maybe I'll do 11 before. Depends. I'm trying to only do them on stream and stuff. So I'm not a Pete thing, but like before the schedule is released, I want to do this one Thursday, then one Tuesday, and then we get the schedule, and then rip probably 10 more, get to 20, and then kind of slow down a little bit. Hopefully, we'll get a puppy soon. Yeah, the schedule hype, and so. Okay, yeah. Let's talk about that for sure. That'd be fun. But yeah, that's kind of my plan at the moment. That's some early takeaways, and we'll get into more as we do this. But yeah, let's get into BBM number 9 here. I'm excited about this one. First one on stream. Only need 3 more. I've got to run good with 101s. I've got 3 shares. Yeah, more so just being an addict, honestly. All right, Casey's in here. Paul is in here. Steph's in here grabbing the 101. Awesome. Who else? If you're in here, let me know. But yeah, no, it's exciting. Having this contest back to be. It's hard to not wait, and I think like some good points. I saw the I don't know if you guys saw the tweet that was going around today that showed what percentage of what finals teams were drafted at what portion of the offseason, and about the same percentage because there are a lot less drafts now than there is in June, July, August, and I think it was about 1.25% of those certain like time periods made the finals. So like basically saying the same amount of people for the number of drafts made the finals. And I think that is cool. And if you're specifically only playing for week 17, I don't think it matters when you draft. I do think now with the regular season, though, it's tough. Like, I think there's a higher chance the absolute first place in the regular season team is drafted now. But I think if you're trying to have the mindset of you want to thread the needle and go for both, or you think that, like, let's get my first Tyreek share of BBM. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so if you're trying to go for the regular season at all, I do think waiting is better. It's just the numbers show that you draft higher scoring teams later in the offseason. But like I said, I think, if you're trying to draft the nuts, like the winning regular season team probably drafted earlier. I don't know. Last year it was July 18th, just like Pat's team. So I think that you can win at any point. Yeah, Paul, I've been using you as an example today, chatting with some people who are like really wanting to wait and stuff. And I'm like, well, my friend Paul is telling me that, every time he's drafted a finals team, it's been early. Heat and 5. I'm assuming the Knicks held on there. But yeah, I don't know. I think you can draft whenever you want. But yeah, so like being conscious of players you think will fall is big, especially if you're planning to max this or do a lot of entries, regardless if you max or not. I think that's super important. And another thing too for me, like some of these rookies who are going 18th round, like if they end up in the 15th round, I'm not going to sweat missing out on that. Like a 15th, 18th round pick is not that much difference. Now, if it's a Dameon Pierce situation and they end up in the 7th, you definitely wish you had that. That's unfortunate there. But that's not something I'm too worried about. I'm going to stop this. Focus on the draft. Get that out of my face. If you guys are new and watching, I would appreciate a sub. It does mean a lot and keeps me going on these. All right, so we got Tyreek. Let's see. We're 19 in this room. We're just gonna grab a Olave. Yeah. Casey gets his Kelsey Mahomes. I like that. One of my the cash game I did during lunch today to avoid, doing my BBM. I got a really good Kelsey Mahomes team. I was like, man, I wish this was one of my bullets. It was like Mahomes, Anthony Richardson as my quarterbacks, Kelsey, and I ended up not hating the wide receiver core either, and that's more of a 0 RB team, which I think if you go Kelsey Mahomes, you almost have to go 0 RB, just because it's tough to make up that wide receiver. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I've got him on one of my 8 teams, maybe 2. He's someone too. It is good to grab him now, but I'll probably I'll still draft him, especially once we know he's the starter. It really is. It really is. I looked at the schedule. The first puppy came out May 26th, so we're about 3 weeks from getting a puppy if they stick to the same schedule. But we'll see. I like that. Steph gets Jettas and then gets her stack of Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts. Getting a 3rd round Jalen Hurts share must feel nice in this. Diggs out. Everyone's stacked up. I actually love drafting in rooms like this. I would rather be in rooms where people are focusing on their stacks and, you can push stuff and everything. So. All right, we're coming back around. Want to focus in, make sure I don't miss anything about these picks because it is weird. It's just $25, but it's a higher entry than a puppy. So I have been really focusing in. Yeah, wow, Ramondre goes. I was wanting to get Ramondre on this team, but not gonna be possible. Let's see. Man. Don't know if I'm going to get buried in this room. All the wide receivers are going. You know what? I'm going to go. I don't know if he'll come back around, but I'm going to go Mark Andrews. I don't think I've picked him yet. If he doesn't, that's another thing too, is I already had some really good discussions this week on if you miss your stack, you miss your stack, right? Don't panic. Don't push for something. Big dog. Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to get the feel for... Derrick Henry in the 3rd is pretty nice. Especially if he doesn't get traded. Their offense is still going to run it, but I haven't picked him yet. Yeah, pretty much. I know. I did one team. I might show that once this one's done. I got stuck on a hyper fragile, robust, whatever you want to call it, team. Where I did start 3 RBs, and I think I actually managed it for what it is. It's my least favorite team, of course, but I came back around. It was from the 2. I took CMC and it was, I think, Pollard, Brees or something. Just everyone was gone. Metcalf was the only... I was right here, and Metcalf was the only receiver I was staring at. I just saw Terry McLaurin. I just noticed is at 26. Were you in that draft? Yeah, you were in that draft with me. It was just DK Metcalf, and I had this whole take of I'm not drafting Seahawks right now, and it's I probably should have. I don't know. I think I'm okay. Lamar does get sniped on me. That's fine. To the guy who starts 3 RBs. Not what I would have done, but it's all right. Mark Andrews can still have an awesome, awesome season. And you were in that one too? Pollard and Mondre team? Or are you saying you just did that one? That is the highest of T starts from the 12. All right, coming back around. Burrow's here. I'm not taking Joe Burrow. Yeah, unfortunate Lamar goes, but it is how it is. We'll stack up. We got plenty of other stacking options. Hopefully, which obviously you invest that early. You do want. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Tyreek Olave, that's a good start. That's my first Tyreek share. All right. Let's see what we got. This tier of receiver, I know a lot of people have talked about it. It's pretty gross. I'm not a Mike Williams person. I'm not taking DeAndre. I'm gonna go Amari Cooper. I think one of my early takes is the Browns are gonna be better. I don't love it. I don't like taking Browns, but I think they might be better this year. Team 12. Team 12, I don't want too many of them. Hey, you know what? It's a 0 wide receiver team. I think Zeke's gonna sign back in Dallas. I don't know, just kind of a gut feeling. I know a few people have talked about that, but isn't that just like what happens? They just run it back. They sign him to like a 1 year, like $4 million deal to come run between the tackles and take 6 of Tony Pollard's touchdowns. That is true. We got our AFC North stacked up there with Coop and Andrews. I don't know the schedules. Like I've watched some streams and people are like, they're like looking at all the schedules and stuff and, trying to grab players who are playing each other. I'm personally not going that deep at the moment. The division stuff I am looking at, but yeah, absolutely. That's what I love it. Like last year, I only did 20 BBMs and I was 2 points from making the finals. So all it takes is one. Just do what you can, do what's in your means. If I didn't win the playoff contest, I definitely wouldn't be maxing. But luckily I did. Team 12 can stack Lamar cheap. I just worry about that construction. I don't know. Isn't that Deuce? I don't know. I think the Deuce story is cool, and they might use him on special teams, but I don't know. We'll see. Wow, this person, Cleveland, I guess I should have seen in their name. They have taken Terry McLaurin way earlier than ADP and then just grabbed Deshaun. Interesting. Nobody boxed out here. I just don't love this tier. I'm going to... Ken Walker's there. I'm fine passing on him again. Cowboys fan stuff, yeah. It just feels like something that they would do. Yeah, I do too. We talked about that a little earlier. I have one team I started 3 straight RBs, and it's okay. Like, I don't think it's dead by any means. I ended up taking 9 wide receivers. And I got a Daniel Jones-Waller as well. So, like, there's a chance I could win big at the other 2 positions there. But we'll see. I gotta look at this team. How many, like, this Cleveland person? 21 picks ahead of ADP. Ugh, I hate how it does this. I'm probably just gonna have it again. McLaurin, 25 pick. They're just grabbing their guys, Respect. Player taking it up. Don't love it. Yeah, I think Zeke goes late enough to tack him on. Like, it's gross. But if he ends up, like, somewhere and scores some touchdowns, has some 10, 12-point weeks, like, it's not the worst. If you're doing, like, a 0 RB or something. Okay, this 12 spot just gobbling up the quarterbacks there with no wide receivers. That is oh my god, so bad. I mean, grabbing your guys is only wrong if you're wrong. I think that's fair to a certain extent. I think a bunch of ADP reaches like this. I think Leone's manifesto made it clear, to me at least, that that doesn't feel good. But we'll see. Team 12 was a sick one. Hey, you know what? This room has paid off for grabbing receivers and going 0 RB. Because I don't mind some of these receivers still on the board. I mean, these running backs. I think I picked Leonard Fournette once in like the 18th round. Because I was hoping that he was the passing down back the Chiefs bring in. But they did re-sign McKinnon. This is a tough choice. I'm just not a Swift person. I know like people like him. I'm going Dalvin. I'm either hoping he resigns or starts somewhere. I think he will. It's almost a round past ADP, which he could fall even. Like, which of these guys isn't gonna fall? I don't know. We're just gonna go Dalvin. We're taking the ADP slide. Yeah, and they stay healthy. That is a big thing. We'll take Dalvin as our anchor. I mean, I don't love it. I would hope he gets cut and signed somewhere, but I'll always take a slide. All right, they just grabbed Rashad White as well. That's only 6 picks. I'm just not, when these other guys are on the board, it's not what I'm taking. Now we might have the, I don't know. We'll see. I was gonna say we might have the grossest RB room after this next pick, but I saw some receivers here I like. I love Madison. I think he's a great pick right now. If Cook gets cut, I mean, he's an awesome pick. We're not gonna mess around. We're just gonna take Tua for our Tyreek stack because I'm of course. I mean, all of you are in this draft. I don't care if I say it. I'm of course eyeing Anthony Richardson, but there's a better chance he just gets sniped 20 picks, 30 picks ahead, which is fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lock Tua up, where I know I've got a stack locked down. But yeah, no, Madison is awesome. I think he's always good when he plays for Cook. Yeah, if he ends up the starter there, he's a great pick. He's a great pick right now for that contingent value. Because if that happens, he is going to be the person that goes 5th, 6th round. If Dalvin Cook is cut or traded, yeah, he's going to explode. So I would definitely grab some Madison shares now, which I have not done through 8 drafts, and I'm probably not going to do on this one, just in case Cook comes back, which you could handcuff him, but handcuffing them and then getting the Cook trade to getting Mixon cut, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like they're kind of acting like he's going to play, so I don't know. So Paul's doing. I always love Paul's teams. Let's see. We got Cup. Love Pollard. DK. I'm a little lower on, but again, he's a grown-ass man, so I like him. Setting up to Seattle. I love Akers. I'm not a Swift person, but it's hard to ignore in Philly. I think I've taken him once so far. Yeah, I think that there's a lot surrounding Cook right now, and that is why he's a little lower than he would be if he stays. I mean, he's also injured a good bit, so it's not the cleanest bet, but I didn't mind making it that far after ADP. I don't think so. I don't think it changes his ceiling. Because we've seen what he can do. I mean, how just efficient he is on little touches. Ooh, I don't know who I want here. Let's see. You know what? Live a little. We got him to go with our Pittman. All right, we got our QBs. This is probably a 2 QB team. I like double tapping this mid-range. There's a lot of quarterbacks I like. I mean, got Anthony Richardson. Picked him 17 spots ahead of ADP, but he could even be high. I guess he could. I think. I don't look at all the QBs, but he could definitely be higher. I love dimes, though. Talking about this range, Tua, Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, Dak even. I think Trevor's going to keep slipping. He did in this room a little bit. Yeah, board was definitely gross, and there were some players I like. Yeah, I think so. I think he's going to go right behind that range. He's going to settle in above Daniel Jones. That's it. Yeah, he is. I don't know. Yeah, probably Fields, Burrow, Watson. I think Herbert. I think he'll be maybe in between Trevor and Herbert, or like right in the 6th round range. I really think like if he comes out, I'm destroying it. Irritating. I mean, he was destroyed after the first 2 days. Like, it's coming, and I want to get some shares now before he's even 2 or 3 rounds higher. Let's see. Not many guys I like here. I don't mind getting this team correlation. With a God, this is just a gross spot in the draft. We've already invested a lot at tight end, even though I love Njoku. Like I said, I'm doing the Cleveland bet, but we already missed out on Watson. I'm doing Michael Thomas. I don't know. There's some people in the space into him. I know Davis, my co-host, is into him, and I think some of his efficiency numbers, like in the 3 games he played, and I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but we get kind of that team correlation there. And I could always add a third. Like, this team doesn't have to not have 3 QBs, but I don't know. Passing the Michael Thomas is the Jacob. I'm not a baseball person, but I think I get that one. Let's scrolling down. But there was no one else I liked there. There's still some RBs I like. We're going to have to hit RB probably our next 2-3 picks to make up. Yeah, it is tough. I don't like him. But at this point, when I have my little New Orleans bet, I don't mind it. But yeah, I'm not expecting a lot from him this year, but I think he's okay. He did get weirdly got a lot of targets in the games he played. Like, but I don't know. Is what it is. P. Ryan, Herbert. Yeah, really wish, looking at the team now, I wish this Andrews pick was an RB. Would have made the team better, but I was kind of thinking that Lamar would come back, but I think this is the team that that started out with all the RBs. And then the 2 QBs. I mean, it is what it is. You can't expect your stacks to always come back, but that definitely threw a wrench in it, not getting that stack. Made this team a little weaker, but it's fine. Yeah, I mean, what if Michael Thomas in week 17 is what you need? Yeah, see, this is like one of the teams from last year. where I pushed RB too much. Like right now, I do not like this team. This could be a Taysom team at RB. Like I would like to have, like, moving forward in most of my drafts, this is where I would like to have 2 by this point to make the team feel a little better, because this is kind of feeling more like the teams that I built last year, where you're just not gonna love. Even though I'm gonna hit it with volume, and there's guys here that'll play, and this is what it is with 0 RB, but this is kind of the type of team where if I wish I could trade the Andrews for a third round running back for sure. I know people hate him. I don't mind him. He survived the draft. I thought for sure the Commanders were gonna go Bijan, but they didn't get the chance to. I just think he's gonna get a lot of touches again. Like we saw it, that offense is a chance to actually be a little better with Bieniemy. Maybe he gets, a lot of goal line touchdowns and, 50, 60 yards. I don't mind him half PPR. And I think it's a similar situation. Like, we know they don't love Antonio Gibson, that staff. So I do not mind Brian Robinson. A-Chain is pricey right now. That is for sure. He's exciting, though. He does run so fast. And he was, like, even at Texas A&M, he was still kind of, like, weirdly their bell cow, even though he is so small. He's I don't know. That backfield is just so congested, right? Like, I don't know if he's the bet I'm making, but I have picked him once. I got him like 20 picks after ADP, which doesn't mean too much right now. Even though it has settled a bit. We'll see. Coming back around. Yeah, he's not bad. It's just I worry about his size in the NFL, but it's all good. Let's see. Oh, this range is gross. I do not want anyone here. God. I mean, we're making the New Orleans bet, so we could just do Jamal. Like, ugh. They just drafted Kendre Miller. I hate this. I hate it. That does not feel good. Maybe Kamara. Give Kamara the 1 year suspension. That feels gross. Yeah, this is like, I'm glad I kind of talked this out, and this team ended up this way, even though I don't like the team. This is exactly what I was talking about, of not, I want one more, but you know what? We're going to take a lot of RBs here. If that happens, that would be exciting. I know he bulked up for the combine and still ran 4.3. 180, was he 188 pounds? I personally, I don't know. They're okay, both of them, but I take more Brian Robinson because I think he's got a better chance of getting the goal line touchdowns. But he did at his price last year too. And again, like them drafting Kendre Miller in the 3rd round, right, is where they took him. It's not a great sign for Jamal, but if Kamara misses 6 games, however many he ends up getting, if that even, it seems like that's gonna happen. I mean, maybe he's a guy who gets me through the early season, and then some of these other RBs I tag on, can take it late. They don't have much at the position on the roster. Did they draft someone? Kincaid went in the 9th. Wow. I'm honestly not even thinking about a Miami tight end on this team. Personally, like, I'd rather just take someone who I know is going to have a role for sure. But he might. I mean, he probably is at this point. They're tied to 1. Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, he's fun and he's exciting. Like, I want some Kincaid in my portfolio, but I just don't know. Elijah Higgins, is he a tight end? Higgins late. Is that, yeah, I don't not know him. I missed that. But yeah, Kincaid, I do not know how much of it I am gonna have, how much of him I'm gonna have. Zero. Yeah, I honestly am thinking that I probably won't have a Miami tight end. I mean, there's so many tight ends late that you don't mind. Conklin is there. Jelani Woods is there. My Anthony Richardson. Like, I'm not too worried about that. Man, am I going to pick Tyler? No, I'm not picking Tyler Algier. I mean, he's good at least. Like, if Bijan Terrace is, I don't want to say that. Don't want to put that out there. But Algier was good last year. If at this much of a fall, maybe I'd push it another round. I don't know. You can at least squint on that one. But goodness, this is another gross range of the draft. Like, I seem to like the guys going a little lower down in this range more, but they're a lot more contingent upside value, guys. All right, I didn't have to make the Algier decision. Yeah, they're all handcuffs, and he's good, so I don't mind it. I am just gonna continue the Miami bet with Mostert though. He still had some really good games. Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited for Bijan. Like, where would you guys not draft him? What is it? I mean, there's nowhere I would not draft him. But like, I meant to say like more like, where do you think his ADP is gonna end up? Like, do you think he breaks the top 5? I know a lot of people are saying he's gonna end up at like 7 overall. So we'll see. 4 or 5. I'm gonna go back up. I would take Jefferson Chase, CMC, and then it starts to get questionable. I don't know. After that, who I would take. You see him at 3. I mean, I feel like the top 3 is the top 3 again this year, and then after that, I mean, I like Kupp and Hill again. I still like Kelsey, but he's one I'm kind of, I don't know, like, I'm taking him. I think I have him once, maybe. I am trying to grab him when he slips to 7-8. I don't know. It is just scary with his age, but he's so good. And he was just so good, too. It's not like he was so good 2 years ago. You would take Kelsey? Okay. Like it. Bijan, the first rookie 2,000-yard season. I can see it. I mean, this guy's the limit with this kid. Like, he is so good, and I'm so excited for him. Do we double up with the Jeff Wilson? Just like try and grab the Miami backfield? I don't know. Doesn't seem great. Probably not at this pick. You take Hill over Bijan? Probably would. Couple guys I like here. Shark I do like. I'm gonna grab MVS. I think of all the Chiefs receivers, he's still the most likely to see the most snaps, personally. And I still think he's got that big play ability in there. I know it's tough, the too high shell is taken away from him, but I like it. Jahmyr Gibbs scores more and he doesn't. Jahmyr Gibbs is tough. I am so excited to watch him, and I'm so excited to watch the offense, but I still don't know. I don't know. Like, it's tough. Obviously, like, we saw the reaction when they drafted him. They are over the moon for Jahmyr Gibbs, and I am excited about him too. But I mean, they already did it, and I know Swift got banged up, and there was some other stuff there, but they already didn't trust Swift to handle a load, and Swift is like 15 pounds heavier than Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm still stuck on the weight thing, but like, and again, I think Swift is gonna have some massive fantasy games, and you're not taking him because you want him to have 20 carries, but I don't know, like, because he's not going to, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know, excited. What up, Drew? Gibbs is gonna be a baller. Like, I'm excited to watch him, but third round for Jahmyr Gibbs. Like when they still gave David Montgomery all that money. I don't know. I've picked him so far, but we'll see. We will see. This is a gross range. There's still a couple contingent RBs here we like. Got Andrews. Trying to decide where I want to invest on these positions. I don't know. That is true. The Jameson Williams part of it is underrated. Like him missing that 6 games is huge. Like Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, I'm not trying to FUD Jahmyr Gibbs. Like I am planning to draft him. I just think that there's, I think that I drafted ETN. I would still draft ETN for Gibbs. But what do you think of Mingo? I like Mingo. I'm excited. I was more excited my last few slow drafts when I tried to convince the couple people I was doing a slow draft together to take him with like one of our last picks. I was like, he's gonna get the draft capital, but we ended up on a good team. But I'm excited for him. I mean, I think he's one that's gonna get steamed up a little bit. I'm not gonna chase him that far up the board because it's still the Panthers with a rookie QB, and a guy that, I mean, he was really good in college, but I don't know, he wasn't a stud or anything. So we'll see. Yeah, we're gonna grab. Do we get Warren here? I kind of like his contingent value. We'll grab Warren. I don't really like anything else in this range. I could have done the Taysom bet and just continued my Saints thing. I've already got 3 Saints though. I don't want to get too many of that offense when we're still some questions. Yeah, Mingo's tough. Like, I mean, I love the height, weight, speed, but yeah. I thought he tested and had the size. Maybe I'm wrong. If he had the bad, was it the production profile? I thought he at least tested well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about him to pick him now for sure. If he gets like too crazy, this is number 9 for me. You puppy. Yeah. Last year we got one May 26th, and this contest is bigger, so do they wait? But also the community's a lot bigger as well, so maybe they push one out earlier. I don't know if any of you guys do play on DK, but there were some hints they're going to drop their stuff. I don't play on there much. I don't plan to, but I'm going to check it out. They said they might make some improvements. They might make some improvements to, their offerings and stuff, but we will see. Jaden Reed goes. My favorite pick probably is I got him in like the 18th round. Yeah, I think they're supposed to. I don't remember who was at. I think Tom was asking about, or DM'd maybe someone he knows who's like a rep, or maybe it was just them. Well, yeah, I considered that soon, like in 9 days. All right, let's make this pick. Wilson, Gainwell. Don't love this tier. You know what? We're just gonna. Do we make the bet kind of like Terrain did last year and try and hit on the Miami backfield each week? We're gonna do it. I don't do this a lot with like the double, but the draft capital are investing. Pick 174 and 139. Don't mind it. And obviously they did it at A-Chain, but we are just going full Miami. Yeah, it could. It could. I know that those are kind of, people have talked about the levers they can pull, and they'll do some of that this year. McKinnon goes. Probably going to go one more late receiver on this team. We did invest 4 of our first 5 picks in receiver. So we've got some bets there. And I think we recovered it pretty good at RB. It's not my favorite RB room. And then we just have our one-off Andrews, which, hey, tied in 1 season incoming. I am kind of excited about him more so because of Monken, though. And obviously, like, George is different, but they use their tight ends so much with Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington. And Andrews is still the best pass catcher on that team. Does have some more competition, but also maybe now that he's got some other receivers around him, those receivers around him can maybe take some pressure off him where he's not just the main focus of the defense. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I played a little tiny bit 2 years ago and in the playoffs 2 years ago. But last year was my first year going all in as well. And like, yeah, I got 3 teams to the Puppy 3 final. Didn't have any big hits, but we had just about an even year, and it was fun. I don't know who we want here. Got Downs. We could do Downs to stack it up even more. I don't think so. Yeah, that was a great finish, Drew. The regular season stuff is so tough. Trying to think if I get that. I'm gonna do a little bit of a reach here and grab a guy I haven't picked yet. We're gonna go Sam Laporta. We're gonna go 2 tight ends. It's only 8 picks. Get him on this team. I know it probably makes more sense to do Jelani, but we don't need Anthony Richardson like doubles. We got Pittman, the main target. And I really think Laporta is going to be good from day one. Obviously, rookie tight ends are, you just never know. But I want to get some exposure to him while because I think there's a chance he can move up into like, this Dulcich Komet area with some good camp buzz. And we already see where Kincaid, I know he went a little higher than he usually even does, but I kind of like, yeah. Yes, like this, it is like tough. Rookie tight ends absolutely never do anything, but not all the time. Kyle Pitts is an alien, but we even saw it last year. Like Trey McBride, who didn't have the best year, still like did okay in week 17. Like they can come around by the end of the year, and like there's no one at tight end for Detroit. It's the 16th round. When you've got kind of a stud already. Yeah, I'm still in on Mayer. I think he got a good landing spot with not a lot of competition as well. So I like Michael Mayer still. And plus with the way like the area of the field Jimmy likes to target, I think he makes a lot of sense. I still get a shout out, absolutely. All right. Oh, Paul. You just did it to me. I was gonna. Dang it. I've been eyeing him up for the last 2 rounds. I should have took him if I wanted him. You know what? Jeez, I don't love this range at all. You know what? We're gonna say no to Marvin Mims. It's the Tim Patrick bounce back here. I don't love that pick. Get a little AFC West action. I should be taking some Mechie too. I haven't taken enough of him. I'm trying to decide on this. What was that question? Let's see. You had him in your queue? Yeah, I thought about taking him where I took Laporta, but I have taken him a couple times, a few times as well. And so, you know what? I'm glad mixing in. I think it's my first share of Laporta in this, so you know what? I'm fine. Now is the question: do I do a 2-7-7-2 or 2-6-8? Yeah, I don't know. We did go 4 of our first 5 picks at receiver, and then we got some bets here. I don't know. It's not a great. It's okay. I mean, we're really needing Pittman to have a good season. Got our Anthony Richardson. These running backs are super questionable, but I don't know about what we got left on the board here. He's the first pick. That was outside of how I was building this team. How are you building it? Let's take a look. Cut Pollard. Jason. So you got your Geno double. You still taking Trey Lance. I can't do it. I can't, but I respect it. And then you got Stafford with your Cup. Yeah, it's a good team. I like it a lot. And she starts all season. And we'll see about that. I loved what Shane Steichen said in his presser. He's like, the way you develop is by playing, and I believe he's going to stick to that. And he may not start the very first game, but I would be surprised if he doesn't play most of the games. Pierce Strong. I haven't picked much of. It's so funny, like going from 20 rounds to 18, and I think this is a good like note to look at as well. Like a lot of these guys I was excited to pick and add on to the back of my teams. Like I'm letting the ADP get to me just like a little bit too much with you know what the where the players are stacked at. But we're taking Jerome Ford. We got it kind of with Cleveland with Cooper. You know, he's the only guy behind Chubb right now, which a lot of people have talked about. I'm still getting him in the last round. I'm kind of liking that bet. And like I said, 4 of our first 5 picks at wide receiver. You know, I actually don't hate this team. You know, we went volume because we got Cook. We got him late too in an uncertain situation with him. You know, I'm hoping B-Rob can grind out 60 yards and touchdown is what you're hoping for from him. Maybe Jamal early. You know, they trust him more than Kendre Miller. We got the Miami backfield. We're hoping ping-ponging weeks. And then we got our 2 big contingent values in Warren and Ford. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I like the team a lot. It's at least a lucky thing, too. Like, I haven't gotten a team I truly just hate or, like, you can't see the path for yet. Definitely not my favorite one. See you, Noah. But, yeah, I don't know. We're well stacked. This is the first time I've done a big team stack like that. And I like it. I'm an elite tight end person. Stephanie's going with her last homer pick. See who she goes with. Team 12, the real MVP. The highest T of starts you can have. Oh, and then they just went and doubled it again. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it or if it's going to just kick us out. Let's refresh it. I got to know who Stephanie picked. Did you pick Deuce Vaughn? Oh, you picked Deuce? Okay. I was going to say, I bet you picked Deuce Vaughn. Let's see. I like your team, though. Let's see what you built, Seven. You got Jettas. You got your Devonta Hurts, I like. Grabbing a couple RBs here. Love the Miles Sanders pick. I know that's not a popular one. Oh, you doubled up Hurts with Goddard. Big fan of that. I like Treylon, Zay. Not the biggest fan of Osborne, but he's, I don't know, he had some good games down the stretch. A-Chain, Dubs. This is a solid team. I like it. I love the Deuce pick at the end. Let's go. Let's see what KZ did. Got his Kelsey Mahomes, then hammered receiver. I think that's what you have to do when you go Kelsey Mahomes. So that's what I've done. Then you got your 0 RB candidates with Pacheco. Again, your team stack. Love that. I think Connor could get the work there in Arizona with Kyler potentially missing. And I think he's a fine pick where he goes. I know he's not sexy. He's not fun, but he's fine. Jamonte's a tough click for me right now. I'm worried about the news around him. But, he still is so talented. So, we'll see. Jacoby, Alec Pierce, love it. DJ Chark. I took a lot of DJ Chark earlier, and then the surgery. I need to look more into that. I think it was minor, right? He's fine. I think he said he's going to be there at camp. Chris says, why does he like Malik Davis? And he goes, text on, you adding Colt McCoy you got your Arizona bet. I mean, that's fair. I like it, Mahomes in the second and then just punting it off. I honestly, think you might could have stopped at Purdy, but I don't know. Maybe get a couple weeks there. I don't know what Colt McCoy does for this team, but it's also the 18th round, so the person you take, probably not helping anyway. This is a lot of fun. First BBM. I like it. I like this team. Ended up okay. We've seen Paul's. We talked about Paul's a good bit. Paul always drops a good team. He's got 3 QBs stacked up on this one. We're different on Trey Lance, but you know what? If he comes out and is good, or for some reason Purdy can't play, I love it. Chase Brown, contingent on Mixon. That's good. Deontay Ingram, someone I haven't picked yet. I haven't even thought about. That's another thing too. Kind of what I was talking about when it ends at 18 rounds versus the 20. So many guys you painted pictures for and that you kind of liked, in 20-round drafts that I'm now not even looking at. And I got to get better at that, at scrolling down, mixing in these 17th, 18th rounders, not thinking, oh, this ADP is perfect. Especially in the last few rounds. But thank everybody for hanging out. This was a fun one. We're going to be doing BBMs all summer long. We're going to be doing puppies, a couple high stakes here and there. Come back and hang out. I'm sure people watching this are playing on Underdog, but for some reason you aren't. My link is below to use, or use promo code HOPE signing up. Get you a $100 deposit match bonus. And if you don't mind throwing a like, throwing a subscribe. I don't really like doing this stuff, but yeah, as far as asking for it, but yeah, it really does mean a lot, and it keeps me going on this. So yeah, I'm having fun. And we'll be back Thursday with Davis for our Road to 150 show, doing our first joint BBM. And we're going to talk a lot more about the structure as well, things we liked and didn't like, and everything like that. Davis has always got his some player tags and stuff like that. So it should be a lot of fun. Yeah, come back on Thursday. Thank you guys for hanging out.